This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. For $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, visit HelloFresh.com and enter TWD30.
Today's podcast is also sponsored by Casper. Get $50 towards select mattresses by visiting Casper.com/WatchingDead and using WatchingDead at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And we just watched Season 8, Episode 9, titled Honor. We're here to talk about it. What do you think, Aaron?
I thought it was Hodor.
No, you must have misread it. It's Honor. Just one letter off, though.
I don't know. Like, this, to me, in the Gimple era, is an above-average... slightly above average episode of The Walking Dead that shouldn't be an episode of The Walking Dead. Like, I feel like, I've said it before, I feel like killing off Carl is like a mortal wound to this show that already was arguably dying from existing mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So the fact that they could rest some emotion after of watching a young man die painfully in front of his father, and Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera pulling out all the stops to make me feel like I did feel things, right? But like, even as that effective stuff was happening, we were cut to morgalized. It's like they riffle shuffled a genuinely quiet, effective scene of a father and his stepmom mourning the too young death of this young man with a bunch of bullshit morgalizing, flip-flopping.
Yeah.
So, like, I couldn't even enjoy the one thing that I wanted to enjoy about this episode, which is saying goodbye to a character which I shouldn't have to say goodbye to. So I thought it's interesting when I look around the internet, there's it seems like a very polarizing response of people like, you know what, this is better than we've seen in a long time. And other people rightfully pointing out the many flaws of Greg Nicotero's direction and staging and stunts and effects work and just basic kind of like plotting and scene blocking. And I don't know. It's got 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, I saw. Slightly higher ratings than last season. We'll see. I feel like that... if you were interested in The Walking Dead at all, you probably want to tune in to see the death of Carl, right?
Sure.
And then I wonder, like, if this is going to be a post-Glenn getting his brains bashed out kind of thing, where the next few weeks just crash because you've got this surge of interest to see, okay, and then, all right, I can now stop. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know where to start with this show. This might be a fine episode, and when I say fine, I don't mean good. I mean fine, passable episode of The Walking Dead, but it's just a piss-poor episode of television. Like, You mentioned the riffle shuffling of the Morgan plot, the morgalizing that we've seen season after season after season, and then you look at what's happening with Carl, and it's more morgalizing.
We coined that joke back when he was milking goats for cheese, man.
Yeah.
What was that, season 5?
5, I think, yeah. It's 3 seasons now of that. And then you go to the other...
He's gone through 2 full morgalizing cycles since there, with a cycle of Carolizing.
Uh-huh. And now you go over and you look at Carl's plotline and what's happening there. It's more morgalizing.
Yeah.
He is morgalizing. He's trying to get Rick to change his position on this stupid fucking idea that everybody's going to be peaceful when there are Negans out there in the world.
Right.
And we can find a better way. Dude, you've tried to find a better way for 8 seasons now.
Right.
It's not fucking working.
And there is a middle path.
Sure, there's a middle path, but we don't need to... I just cannot stand the flip-flopping of this show.
Yeah.
It's like they have one theme that they could possibly dream up in the writer's room.
Right.
And they're like, we're going to milk this for 20 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
No, you're fucking not. You're losing your audience.
Yeah, and it interferes with, stuff. Because, how many times am I going to complain about this season? This show was constructed, and the comic book was constructed. The show has been deconstructed slowly since season 1. The comic book was constructed to tell the tale of a young man who is shaped by life experiences into being the ultimate post-apocalyptic leader that humanity needs to lead us back into the light. Okay? Scott Gimple chose to take that basic script outline, wad it up, and now make it absolutely critical to keep like Rick and Michonne and Maggie on the company dime. Because if they get rid of those now, there is nothing. And you know, like if you didn't, I've heard some things, like some unkind things said about Chandler Riggs acting, and like maybe you can't build the show around him. Okay, but you know what you could do? You could you could recast him as you could find a winsome 18 or 19-year-old out there and recast him and then build the show. I don't know. I don't know where the show goes from here. I mean, it's so weird because there's still half a season of slogging through the all-out war plot line.
Yeah.
But after that, like I don't know where it goes. I honestly don't.
It's shocking how little happened for an extended episode.
Right.
Breaking Bad had more happen in 5 minutes than this entire episode had.
Yeah.
I mean, what did we see? We saw Carl die, which happened last season.
Yeah.
And we saw Ezekiel saved by Morgan and Carol. That's literally it.
Yeah, and like there's another couple of head scratchers. Like, you know, remember we're trying to desperately figure out what, like, you know, what's the vision of Snowball Rick, and like, you know, what's this white head, white beard Rick doing? And we find out that that's the fantasy that Carl had. I mean, I don't understand why we needed to see that at the beginning of the beginning of this season. I don't know why we need to be teased with it. Like, wouldn't that have been kind of an interesting? I don't.
It's because they decided to make a 3-hour epic about one kid dying, and they did it poorly. Like, imagine if this was a movie that you went to see in the theater.
Yeah.
And the only thing that happened is at the beginning of the episode, a kid got bit. At the end of the episode, the kid died.
Right.
I don't know that you can hold an audience's interest for that long with that shred of a plot. And that's just all they had going.
I wonder if they're trying to I wonder if what they're really trying to do is they're going to essentially transfer all of Carl's plot lines onto Henry. Because they've made Henry out to be this kind of little pint-sized psychopath, kind of the way Carl was in the comics post-prison.
Or even in the show, like when he grabs the gun and just goes to town. You know?
Right. Like, I wonder if they're just like reboot. Okay, well, we need, you know, for this post-all-out war plot line to be effective, we don't need a peacenik pacifist teenager. We need like a mentally unstable, might stick a broom handle through a dude's throat kind of guy that we can redeem and you know, usher back into the light. I don't know. Before we get into the recap proper, I just want to talk about some things that we've been doing since we've been away. Just a partial list. We've been doing a lot of commissioned podcasts. Just in the last few weeks, we've had commissions for the movie Heat, The Beat That My Heart Skipped, a fantastic French film, Looper, the 2012 science fiction time travel blockbuster, and The Lost Boys, 1987's The Lost Boys. That's a pretty eclectic mix.
It's a good lineup. I like it.
Commission podcast. We've got one for The Exorcist coming out next week. We also have had a lot of first-run bald movies. Unfortunately, a movie that a lot of people are missing, we saw last week, Annihilation. If you like smart science fiction, go out and see that in the theaters while you still can. Because Sony didn't get behind it, and it looks like it's bombing. Probably won't be around for very long, and that's a damn shame. Finally, we'll be doing a first-run bald movie. My wife and I, because Jim will be out of the country this Thursday night, we'll be previewing Red Sparrow. I just alluded to Jim being out of the country. He's going to Italy.
Yeah,
going to Italy for
11 days.
11 days with your brother. Going to go. If you didn't know, Jim Jones. Old school Italian American. What?
Yeah,
from way back.
Old school.
Since the day he was born.
Almost.
Like you can't rep it harder or sooner, honestly. And he's going to visit the mother country. While he's gone, I'm going to be holding down the fort. We'll have a pretty standard release schedule. I've got some co-hosts to do the Walking Dead reviews, essentially The Watching Dead. some guest hosts that are going to be helping me out on that. And then what's the other impact of that?
I think I'm going to be back for not this next week, but the week after, episode 3 of this half season, which is episode 11 of the season.
Right.
I think I'm going to be back for that podcast, but not the live watch. We'll see.
But yeah, that's gonna. I'll still be doing like the live watches for the club members and all that stuff. Just be doing it solo until Jim gets back. Shall we get into the recap?
Sure.
Okay. We begin as we did the first of the last half season with Red Rimmed Rick intoning "My Mercy Prevails Over My Wrath" as we fade to an extended Carl death dream of Jerry meeting Judith and seeing Sadiq, and he's such a winsome guy and he can't be said no to, and Michonne and Rick are then now digging a grave in the present, I guess. We then go to the flashback of the doom of Carl, where he gets bit in his belly, and then they play a montage of Carl making peace with his impending death back at Alexandria to the tunes of "At the Bottom of Everything" from Bright Eyes.
Oh, fuck me.
You didn't like that song?
No, I hate this song. This lead singer can't sing worth a damn.
I mean, I feel like he's kind of an off-brand Bob Dylan. Like, it's like... and
it's fine. It's not the 70s anymore, man.
And the lyrics...
You gotta be able to sing.
The lyrics are, I mean, they fit. Like, you know, it's basically about the contradictions that you have to live on in modern society, and I don't know. But then we also flash back to find out, I mean, all this shit is stuff that happened like 3 episodes ago that they didn't choose because they don't know why, they don't know how or why to tell a straightforward story. But Morgan is watching Sanctuary. He starts seeing the saviors hatching a plan. Everyone is curiously passive about it. Mm-hmm. Like, Morgan just watching through his scope, like, what's going on? Oh, I see they're killing over here and they're killing over there, and I've gotten my gun as well as several others trained snipers on the people they're instigating this. All they're stacking up zombies like fucking sandbags here. Should we stop it? And by the time 15 minutes has passed, the saviors open fire in a sniper nest, and he has to flee the scene.
Yeah, it's shocking how quickly they smoked out Morgan's position
when he hadn't even begun firing.
No, he hadn't given away his position,
like,
not at all.
And I don't, like, man, would it killed them to have Morgan kill an extra or two and then the gunfire comes? Right. Like, that would have made sense. He escapes with one of the most ill-conceived action scenes I've ever seen. He bangs his broomstick against a chain link fence, leads a moderate-sized zombie army down a alley. 5 dudes with weapons come out, see Morgan, and then they see the zombies, and they can't possibly spare a gunshot at Morgan. He just hobbles away as they ineffectually deal with the zombies. It's like, you could do that with just a little tweak to the timing and the staging, and tell the story of split-second timing, which would at least be visually interesting. As it is, it's the masked action scenes that are in a show that kind of prides itself on action scenes.
Yeah, I mean, all Walking Dead has going for it at this point is its gore. And if you're into cool zombie stuff, this show is where you want to be, I guess, but everything else around it is crap.
Point in your favor, now that we've caught up on shit that happened like 3 or 4 episodes ago, back to the present as Carl Carol.
I can't believe you didn't want to comment on Rick's beard. Rick's old man beard. I don't know. Is it the harsh Georgia winter? Did they need like face warmers? Have they killed like a rabid possum or something and strapped it to his face? Because it looks just unbelievable.
I mean, I guess it's Chandler's idea of what his dad will look like in 5. Or I'm sorry, it's Carl's idea of what his dad will look like in 5 to 6. Because, like, how old do you think Judith is? She read to me like an 8, possibly 10-year-old.
Sure.
So we're talking 5 to 8 years into the future. I don't think Rick goes full Santa Claus beard, but I don't know. Maybe.
It's not the color of it. It's just the texture and it just looks like a really bad fake beard.
I feel like at this point, Andrew Lincoln's like, you know what? Fuck you. Well, I'm going to shave my beard and you guys will just deal. You want to do pickup reshoots of some gauzy bullshit, Vaseline smeared on the camera lens, death thing for Carl, fine, but I'm not growing the beard out.
Yeah.
Too much salt in my pepper, and it's not a good look. I'm shaving it off. But it's bad. It's his fake beard looks fake.
I also like that Carl promises Siddiq that he's only gonna have to stay in the sewer until he can tell his dad, like he can smooth things over with him, and he ends up. Turns out he stayed down there forever. He stayed down there from the moment Carl got him back until the moment they were attacked.
The dream of Alexandria with the hot showers and the electricity to play video games and stuff. That's done. That's done.
Never got to experience Alexandria.
So like I said,
Carl's basking in the warm sun. It's great. It's a great cutscene when you know that Siddiq is sitting in a damp, disgusting sewer, just waiting.
Yeah, don't enjoy that sun on your face, Carl. So anyway, Carol is leading the Kingdom refugees back to her cabin. She kills a disgusting walker that's tripped on one of her defenses and somehow managed to spin its head completely around. But cool scene. I mean, cool zombie kill.
Yeah, cool zombie.
Her cabin's wrought iron fence, no match for Reg's cold rolled steel, but any port in a storm, Alexander's on fire. Morgan, or Henry, who is the brother of the kid, that's name I can't remember, who got killed last season, comes up and says, Morgan taught me the stick, and he wants to fight, but Carol's not having it. So, I don't even know why this conversation exists, because the kid just going to follow her to the kingdom anyway. Carol,
it was really
master
surprising.
Soldier, master stealth, master of blend. Like, she cannot hear a 10-year-old that's twirled a stick around, following her. I don't know.
And it's weird to me that they give it away like as soon as they get to the city.
Yeah.
Right? They as soon as they get to the kingdom, they show a shot of Henry running across a field.
Right.
And Carol spots him. So that was weird. I don't know.
So we have a scene where Rick and Michonne are struggling to comprehend Carl's impending death, and they're in the sewers, and Rick and Michonne are casting around for some way to blame this on Negan and the Saviors, and Carl reveals, nope, I just got bit, and I did it helping someone, which, here's another frustrating point. You could build a legitimate scene of a boy dying trying to convince his dad to do something different, while his dad is also saying, but your bullshit got you killed. Like, how am I supposed to like have an honest conversation about, the price of being a decent human being, and sometimes you have to pay that price, and but they don't. Like, Rick is not allowed by the script to do anything that suggests that, Carl is not 100% right.
Sure.
Except for to make things like, oh, the world's different, Carl. Things have changed. It's just different. I can't go back to being a gun farmer. It's just different. Like,
they've been writing this same scene for 5 years now.
Your son just got bit helping out a stranger.
Yeah. No, this is the shit that I hate. It's the repetition of the same theme over and over and over. And
that's the first thing is I agree with Carl's approach. I think Carl's approach is ultimately the right one, but fucking make that argument, man.
And don't make every character have to realize it individually, right? Like, wait for next week. Wait for next week, because we have to deal with fucking Jesus. And Jesus is going to be the biggest moralizing dick of all time now.
Right.
And he's going to do it in the face of Maggie, who is well within the right, with all the stuff she's doing at the Hilltop. So, I don't want to see next week, and I won't be here for next week. So I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, as we talked about in the show notes,
there are going to be trash people.
He's going to be ducking. He's leaving me to do the heavy lifting on the trash people. Okay. I don't know this guy's name. I just had it in my mind 5 minutes ago. I've forgotten. But Negan's left-hand man.
Just starts with a
Gavin.
G, yeah.
Gavin. He's telling Ezekiel that he's going to die in the stupidest, lamest way possible. And just doing this passive-aggressive, like, look what you've made me do. And Ezekiel's not having it. He goes, look, I saved my people. What happens next to me is not, I don't even give a shit. And it's so weird because the tenor, like, he starts, like, trying to reverse moralize this weak-chinned, thoroughly unimpressive idiot as if they're trying to do some kind of Gavin redemption plot.
And he tries it multiple times through the episode, yeah.
And I feel like it's so you can build to a moment where Henry is not just immediately justified thrusting a broomstick through this guy's neck.
Right.
Like, I do feel
like Morgan was going to change his mind. Yet again, Morgan was going to change his mind at the end of this episode, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got the stick out. Maybe he's not.
I just I mean, they have to okay, let's have Ezekiel invest in trying to redeem this man's soul. Mm-hmm. Fuck everyone else that he's leading and commanding, by the way. Like, if we save him, it will be something. But it's just, he's not a person who's sympathetic. And all of his, like Ezekiel never challenges on his bullshit when he's like, I had a tight crew. Ezekiel should have been like,
you did.
Yeah, what about rat-faced Jesus, who started shit all the fuck? I had the tight crew, and you fucked it up for me, and you fucked it up for all of us, and now you're going to die.
Yep.
Like, his point about, I wasn't trying to save my people, I was trying to save you, that was a solid point. But he should have had, 6 of them against this motherfucker. Anyway... Morgan and Carol hook up, but don't get excited, not in that way.
No.
Not like that, perverts.
Not yet.
They hook up in the kingdom. Morgan says he's seen them have Ezekiel, and he's also seen Henry running around in mock. But they can take this whole compound. Carol wants to play the level stealth mode, but Henry's arrival complicates things, so she reluctantly agrees to kind of go on to a search and destroy mission of the Saviors here at the kingdom. Anything to chip in here?
No.
Rick and Michonne help Carl to a cot. Sadiq kind of hilariously offers Tylenol. Mm-hmm. Says, it helped with my mom's fever when they were dying. And, I mean, it's not nothing. It's just hilarious in context of this boy who has cost their son his life offering you, chewable children's Tylenol or whatever.
Right. And there are appropriate looks from Rick.
Yes.
And this whole scene, which I thought were pretty funny.
Right. Rick deduces he's a doctor because he calls Tylenol a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory.
Right.
Sadiq says, no, I was just a resident, which is...
essentially a doctor. That's good enough.
That's
in
a
the
doctor
apocalypse.
who just needs to put a few miles on the odometer, and he'll be fine.
And I will, every day of the week, exchange a glorified babysitter for a doctor.
Sure.
In a zombie apocalypse.
Rick and Michonne and all of Alexandria has kind of traded up here.
Yeah.
No, we're not allowed to talk about that because Carl's a beloved character. But Sadiq on paper...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, having a fucking doctor? Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Rick isn't impressed with this man who Carl gave his life for. Explosions start to rock the sewers because the Saviors are up top just blowing the shit out of Alexander. We'll find out in a bit. Michonne goes and begs Dwight to intercede, but he can't because he doesn't have that kind of pull. Not anymore. He says, "Hey, just be patient. The Saviors don't have that much ammo and explosives. They'll run out, get bored, and leave." Dwight's also skeptical of their everybody to the hilltop strategy because it's an all eggs in one basket problem, but Daryl insists that together will be Negan's worst nightmare.
Even though just an episode ago I fucked up the whole plan, the united plan that we had.
Right.
I fucked it all up, but now we're united.
Yeah. Daryl's like, I'm all on the team board now.
Right.
I'm all aboard team.
How many times can we do this?
When's the last time Daryl felt like a real character? I feel like it's
Carol, season 4.
It's like after Beth died, when him and Carol went back to this, because some people are going to say, well, what about the episode where he got stolen by Negan and his Easy Street? Nah, I never felt like he was a real character. Like they haven't really done anything interesting with him other than have his hair continue to get crazier and his voice get gravelier.
Yeah.
But no, it's sad because he used to be a thing. Remember when Daryl? When Daryl dies, we riot. Mm-hmm. Are there still people buying those T-shirts?
I'm not.
So Carol and Morgan skulk around the ruined kingdom, killing Saviors as the opportunity presents itself. Morgan seems to be losing himself in the violence. That's going to probably recap a lot of scenes. Carl spends his last few hours on Earth imploring his dad and stepmom to make the world a better place, as it seems the Saviors are indeed wrapping things up with the boom boom. I mean, Carl's been dying this whole time.
Yeah.
But they haven't really gotten to the meat of it.
No.
It's just there's just so much just treading water in this episode.
This is all just prelude to the goodbyes that he's going to give to everyone. Literally everyone in that sewer gets a goodbye moment.
Yep.
One by one.
Morgan continues to insist on ever increasingly risky savior kills over Carol's better judgment. He's going full on clear mode, Jim, and not in the fun Scientology way. In the unfun, moralizing, what have these hands wrought, I must be a monk kind of inevitable character turns, sort of not fun way. So we see, once again, Gavin, the least charismatic henchman in history of henchmen, haranguing Ezekiel on how he just didn't want things to be like this. And then, again, maybe should have done something about evil Jesus. Huh? Ezekiel keeps saying it's not too late to walk back from something decided, which, what the hell does that even mean? Is he saying, like, it's not too late for you to, like, lay down your men and or your arms and surrender?
I think it means you can change your mind. Like, in a nutshell, you can change your mind about all this. Because, like, you've decided to go down this path.
And you decided to go down this path swinging.
We're heading down that path, but you can change your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what he's getting
The only
at.
one keeping you here is you. But this guy's convinced. And here's the thing. This guy's convinced that Negan's going to win. And there's not really a lot of evidence to the contrary.
Sure.
Like,
especially right now, yeah.
Right, because it turns out the Saviors have infinite men and ammo. Mm-hmm. They just are never going to run out. Like, no matter how many dozens and hundreds Rick kills, they're always going to have more.
Yeah. And I can't wait until the middle of this second half of this season when we realize that the Saviors don't actually have any ammunition problems at all. And all the shit they did last half of the season about worrying and fretting, oh, if we shoot our way out of this facility, we're not going to have any ammo. It's just going to be bullshit.
Right.
And the show won't take that into account when it plots forward. I guarantee it.
Right. There's no sense of scope or stakes or scale or what losses are sustainable and what isn't. And this guy...
No, I mean, you look back at Alexandria when Negan came in and stole most of their food and all of their beds, and nothing seemed to change.
Right. Because we can go get a fuck ton of guns from Seaside. How many guns? A fuck ton. And we can give them
But I mean, there was nobody who was ever starving, right? Nobody ever said, I'm fucking hungry. Like, there was one guy... back before the Negan stuff even happened, who was an asshole, Deanna's kid, I can't remember his name. But he was like the only guy who ever even thought about stealing a piece of bread, you know, and he steals a bottle of booze.
Right.
Where is it? Where is the starvation? Where is the hardship? Like, I want to see some consequence for any action in this show.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy, Gavin, who, again, is just the worst, shittiest, evil character. Like, this is a C-list character on Z fucking Nation. Mm-hmm. He looks like an evil Bob Ross after chemotherapy. Ignores Zeke's implorations and orders his men into the Royal Theater to hole up after realizes that most of his dudes are dead. It's another reason why he's the shittiest henchman.
Yeah.
Morgan and Carol have killed like a dozen of this guy's dudes, and he doesn't know it until he picks up the radio to, to get one of them to come do something.
Yep.
There's a more Gagazi flash forwards or dream sequences of some shit of old man Rick as it snaps back to the near future, I think, where him and Michonne are burying Carl. Is this Carl's imagination of what it's going to look like when his dad buries him?
Yes, yeah.
Like, it's so weird.
It is.
Fucking chart this timeline out. The remnants of Team Rick and the present are preparing to leave the sewer and make the trek to the hilltop, but Rick says, I'm staying with Carl till the end. Michonne agrees to stay with him. They keep the family together because, of course, it's the right thing to do. Daryl steps forward as the crazy uncle and says, I'll help deliver Judith to the hilltop alive. Carl says goodbye to his sister, fills her head with a bunch of pro-child, anti-parent propaganda.
Yeah, he's really making Rick's future life hard.
You see these two, they're the enemy. Only we know what the hell's going on. You got to show them. You got to pry their heads out from their asses, Judith. Yep. Can't even talk yet, Judith. And then he also makes her take his stupid hat, and she cries hysterically because she doesn't want it. She doesn't want that hat.
No, it's
I don't
sweaty,
want this hat, Daddy.
Dirty. It's covered literally in shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
All right, I want to take a quick second here to talk about our sponsor, HelloFresh, for this episode. I've been watching a show from Gordon Ramsay, one of his many cooking shows.
Called Hello Fresh.
No, he's not involved in copyright infringement, not at all, or trademark infringement. No, but he talks about, it's a home cooking show. So he's in his own kitchen, and he's cooking stuff, right? And he talks about the components of good home cooking are easy, fast, delicious. And I think that HelloFresh hits all of those, as far as I can tell. If you are unfamiliar with HelloFresh, it's a meal delivery service which provides you with all of the groceries pre-proportioned that you need to cook as few or many meals as you'd like in a week at home. And they are all fresh ingredients. They're very tasty ingredients. And the thing that I like about it is it's easy. It cuts out all of the planning and shopping time that I would have to spend to try and make a meal plan for a week. They just deliver that right to your door. The meals themselves are actually really quick to cook. They usually take about 30 minutes. And I've always been satisfied with like how much flavor you get out of a meal that you cook in 30 minutes. It's surprising. But their meal plans are really good. And it's simple. There are like a lot of one pot recipes, which I appreciate because I don't have a lot of pots. And so when I can just kind of combine everything and get like a really satisfying, healthy, tasty meal at the end of 30 minutes, that's a great thing for me. And I've been using them for a while.
Well, I'd say that because from a slightly different experience, as a father with a small family, like I just have to cook and make meal plans to make ends meet. And what I like about HelloFresh is that a lot of times you can get in a rut when you're doing that. It's like you just roll out the same old.
Yeah.
HelloFresh has new ideas and new meal plans, and once you cook it, you can keep their like really excellent meal plan that has all the ingredients you need and the preparation instructions, and they're very clearly written with no fancy jargon. And it makes cooking fun and easy and approachable, and it's a fun thing to do with your family, and like my family looks forward to like HelloFresh night because it's going to be something Dad's never done before, and it's going to be delicious.
Yeah, and the other thing I do like about it is that we don't talk about as much as we should is probably the recipe cards that you get.
Yes,
because they're very, very simply laid out. It takes you step by step through exactly how to cook this meal, and it's pretty much foolproof.
It's kind of
even
fun
from someone who doesn't really know how to cook.
Because
like myself.
All my recipes are on my phone, and like it's like I've had the feeling of like don't sleep. My hands are like all covered in fish and breadcrumbs, and damn it, I went to sleep. And I'm gonna have having the card there is super nice because it just doesn't turn off. Mm-hmm. It's that old paper technology that doesn't fail you.
Yeah, so we actually have a special deal going on right now with HelloFresh. If you go to HelloFresh.com and you enter TWD30 as the promo code, you can get $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, and I would recommend you try it.
I, too, have a recommendation. It's Casper and their mattresses. You can get $50 towards select mattresses by visiting Casper.com/WatchingDead and using WatchingDead, all one word, at checkout. I've been sleeping on a Casper mattress for like 3.5, maybe going on 4 years, and it's as good as the day it first arrived at my house. You spend a third of your life sleeping. You should be comfortable. It makes an immediate improvement in your life. If you're like tossing and turning and having trouble sleeping, upgrading your bed is one of the best things you can do. It has a breathable design that keeps you sleeping cool at night and regulates your body temperature throughout the night. Casper offers a wide array of other products like pillows and sheets. Once you step up, that's the thing. Once you step up your mattress game, then it's like, oh man, these sheets aren't as soft and touchable and breathable as I'd want. They're coarse and scratchy, and he's got to start. Oh, now these pillows are fucking cinder blocks, and why am I sleeping on cinder blocks when Casper sells pillows? Like, you check that out. They also give you hassle-free returns if you're not completely satisfied. They deliver right to your door in a small. How do they do it? Size box. I would say that my king size bed came in a package roughly the size of a zombie's torso, maybe 2 zombie torsos that's been duct taped together. That's about the size it came in.
And I think the mechanism for getting out is you just kind of reach in. You
reach in
right?
through its belly button sized aperture, and you just start ripping mat. No, they actually provide you with the tool that allows you to just open up the package, and it flops open, and within 10 to 15 minutes achieves its full size. They offer free shipping and returns to the U.S. and Canada. You can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free sleep-on-it trial. Again, get $50 towards a select mattress by visiting Casper.com/WatchingDead and using WatchingDead at checkout. Those are all one word, WatchingDead. Terms and conditions apply. Sadiq comes up to say goodbye. He tries to assure Carl that his sacrifice meant something, and he's going to be bound and determined to honor his sacrifice, and Carl himself by living his life in a way to demonstrate that value. He's going to have to master the first step of the dentist system. Okay. So King Ezekiel keeps saying that the droning dandelion that is Gavin can stop all of this, and he gets slapped right in his gob for the trouble. Ezekiel says, man, I bent over backwards to avoid the war. I thought it was to save my people, but turns out it was to save your dumb ass and no more, which I think is the only actually solid, badass rhetorical point that's made in this whole fucking episode.
Yeah.
About then, Carol and Morgan make a boom boom at the rear of the theater.
Oh, boy.
But attack from the stage, and the master of redirection, they just stand in the open and just hose down the theater. The saviors are almost instantly cut down from the gunfire, but Morgan eventually gets tackled, and I swear to God, I know most of you people are not even watching the show. There's listening to this podcast for the grim comedy value of us being forced to watch something that you fucking won't. But you've got to watch this particular scene because this looks exactly like what would happen if you asked a first-year drama student to tackle someone and then you use that first take. I'm telling you, frame by frame, this guy's tackle of Morgan. It's like, what am I going to do? Act it out on the podcast? It's like, I guess for the
video thing.
Yeah, he's
Get
just
those hands flopping.
He's just like has no idea how to square up and tackle a guy. And Greg Nicotero said, "Cut, print, got it." You know what? This might be the first time you've tackled a man. I don't know what you did.
Yeah, you got the character has a history.
He probably worked at a fucking PetSmart, bagging up crickets for some kid's frog to eat. Like, you've never tackled a man in your life before. You've always hung back in the back. I don't know. Morgan escapes this by noticing the small wound in the drama student's belly. He then plunges his entire fist in his abdominal cavity and rips out handfuls of intestine.
Like he's starting a lawnmower. This is... He's
trying to pull start this dude's intestines.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And, here's the other thing about this scene. Okay, so it's awesome and hilarious and stupid when Morgan pulls his guts out. And I love that part.
Yeah.
What I don't love is that Morgan, the fight is over, right? The fight, everyone else in the room is dead.
Except
Morgan
for dumbass Gavin and this first-year drama student.
There's this guy on top of Morgan punching him mercilessly in the face, just beating his teeth out of his head. Carol's standing there watching it. She's got a gun. Ezekiel's standing there watching it happen. Everybody's just standing around watching Morgan get his face pulverized. She's on the fucking stage with him, 5 feet from him.
Right.
Put a gun to that guy's head and say, "Stop it, please."
Right. Maybe she thinks he needs some sense beat into him. I don't know.
Oh, my God. So I guess she was waiting for the gut rip. She knew it'd be spectacular.
So Gavin, a.k.a. Captain Overbite, manages to scurry away. Because we got to have a big morgalizing scene, and we can't have any morgalizing with all the antagonists dead. Rick and Michonne continuing to give palliative care to Carl. At this point, realize that, we're going to watch Carl die for this entire fucking hour. He commands them not
hour and a half, please.
Right. He commands them not to be sad and angry because people have control over their emotions. He does make a key observation that they need to start living for themselves as much as for the kids, like, him and Judith and Maggie's baby. Like, y'all have years left on this earth if you want them, and you need to start seeing reasons for yourself to live, which I thought was the whole point of Rick and Michonne getting together. Like, Rick realizing that, like, I'm not ready to just, I don't know. He adds that Michonne is his best friend, which harkens back, frankly, to better times and better seasons. Because you remember when, Michonne and Carl first started hitting it off and how cute that was and how much chemistry they had and how they just completely failed to exploit any of that.
Yeah.
And Michonne tenderly and tearfully accepts their BFF status. Rick doesn't want Carl to die in a sewer and asks Michonne to help him move him to higher ground. They help him stagger to Alexandria's church, which has seen better days. All of its stained glass has been smashed. Most of the houses in the background are on fire. It's one way to get AMC to buy new sets. You just fucking
burn them.
Just burn them to the ground.
Yeah.
Carl thanks Rick for shaping him in the man he's become. Appropriate to the church, he confesses some of his sins from his angrier prison storyline days, how he shot a Woodbury youth who was trying to surrender. Rick absolves him of this, saying that you were just a boy. Carl says that's the point, how easy killing got to be and what it was doing to him, and Rick saw that and changed himself. It can't all be about killing, Jim.
Man. Okay, so I'm not going to rant and rave again about the repetition of theme here. But let me ask you this. I could buy it if there was something interesting to say about it that had been informed by recent events that made it more than just the same conversation over again. Why is it more interesting this time? to have this conversation.
Like I said, I do think the interesting framing is Carl saying, you guys have got to stop pretending like you are doing this for us, which is essentially enabling your policy of any extreme action can be justified because it's for the fucking children, right?
Sure, but what is the alternative here when faced with an enemy like Negan?
No, I think this is the right mess. I mean, but there again,
What does Carl want out of Rick in this moment?
I mean, because that's the thing. No one, like, this kid's dying, but no one will say that literally Negan planting vegetables out in the garden and bouncing Judith on his knee is never going to happen.
No, that is not a possible future, Carl.
Right.
Not as things stand currently.
Because of who Negan is.
Right. It's not up to Rick. It's up to Negan.
And there needs to be an acknowledgement that some people, because of the damage they've received in this apocalypse or just their predilections for violence and mayhem, are just never going to fit in the society that you want to create.
And if they
those are choices they made. This is not something that
Right.
you're inflicting upon them. That you can
And if they have power, if they've
Right.
already risen to power and they have the potential to wipe out your civilization, which wants to be peaceful,
Right.
how do you deal with that?
And that's the thing, like, if he had envisioned Dwight in that future gardening, that I guess I'd
Sure,
have been
maybe.
fine, because, like, that's a point. That is a valid point, that you can't necessarily kill everyone from the savior complex, because we know from Daryl, we know from other people that there are civilians there. There are people who are suffering. There are people who could be liberated. That's the point. Why this show doesn't even know what fucking point it's trying to make, I don't think. Do they really believe that Negan is going to hammer his swords into plowshares here?
It doesn't seem realistic. And
Is that what the fans think is going to happen? I'm not up on my comics, but
and then Carl has to confront not only Negan but guys like the governor. I mean, there are many of them out there, and they are not going to cooperate with your vision of the future.
And also,
simply because you want them to.
Maybe 1 out of 100 times you could redeem a guy like Negan who's that far gone.
Yeah.
But at what cost? How many of your own people are you going to lose? How many sabotages are you going to endure? How many people are going to see this as like some weak bullshit policy and be emboldened by your actions, like
Rosita did?
Yeah, like, well, fuck, nothing's gonna. I gotta take matters in my own hand. Like they're, you know, I just want to put it out there. Maybe a 16-year-old doesn't have all the answers.
Maybe a writer's room of 16 people doesn't have all the answers. Like, it's just so boring at this point. Like, this point has been hammered home so many times. I'm done with it.
Yeah. So, and then we get another gauzy, soft light fantasy future. And this is where they reveal that this is actually Carl's imagination all this time. Mm-hmm. And again, I know I made this point in the beginning, but I honestly believe that this would have been a more powerful realization. Like, if they just showed this kind of, like, beautiful future as Carl is dying, and we understand that it's his hope for the future, and, like, it's kind of hangs in the balance because it's up to his dad. But the fact that we've been teased this and how ridiculous it all looks, it has zero impact. And it actually kind of distracts from the things that do have impact, like, you know, Carl saying goodbye to, like, fucking Rick. That's a powerful moment.
It should be, yeah.
It's too damn bad that so many other people who are fantastic actors, like, you know, Maggie and the woman who plays Enid, they also have close connections to Carl and have been, you know, either have a personal connection to him or have been there from the beginning. It's too bad that our cast is just fucking everywhere, that everyone can't kind of share in that moment.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Let's see. Outside, he also says that you don't need to kill me. I can take care of myself. I'm a man now. And outside, Rick and Michonne wait for the gunshot, break down when they hear it. Which again, this and then burying their child is a really beautiful moment, and it's immediately undercut by a smiling Jeffrey Dean Morgan grabbing Judith and bouncing on her knee in the garden patch and saying "morning, darling" or whatever the hell he says. Like, okay, that's enough, Carl. Now, I made this into a coherative narrative.
Yeah, but
you need to
not.
understand that every fucking sentence I said is going to be undercut with the sentences I'm about to say, because
Right.
that's how this shit was filmed and staged. Morgan hunts down a man. Gavin, who was almost certainly a manager of a Toys R Us in his former life, he begs Morgan, then he threatens, then he does the whole killing me won't change anything bullshit.
This is the guy that instituted the uniform policy at Target stores.
I need chinos. I need red polos, people.
Red shirt and khakis, and god damn it if I see anything else.
What was the polo joke we had in the live watch last night? I feel like there's a pretty solid polo joke, but I couldn't remember. We were organically coming up with things that Gavin looked like that was pretty top notch, and I forgot half of those too. Anyway, Ezekiel tries to talk Morgan down for some reason. Carol tries to talk Morgan down for some reason. It's not effective. Carl is winding up to kill Gavin when Henry beats him to the stick.
Morgan is, not Carl.
Did I say?
You said Carl was going to kill him.
Oh, sorry. Morgan's about to kill him. When Henry beats him to the stick, jabs it right through Gavin's neck, missing his weak chin, which probably would have caused him to just explode like Glass Joe and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And Henry says, I had to. And Carol starts to scold him before the King Ezekiel waves her off, and he promises Henry that all will be resolved, which, like so many other things, King Ezekiel says, I have no idea what that exactly means.
I think he's handling it better than Carol is. But,
Sure.
But Henry needs to watch his back at this point, because Carol has killed kids for less.
Yeah.
She will destroy you, Henry, if you give her the chance.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, Carol has done a bit of, gone through her little moralizing spiral, too. Mm-hmm. Which makes a lot of this stuff just really silly.
Yeah.
And then Rick meditates beneath a stained glass hung tree, which is a beautiful shot, but where the fuck is this place?
He looks gut shot. He looks like he's been shot in the gut.
I think it's the same because I actually backed up and it looked like he's wearing the same outfit. I think this is
that's just Rick. He wears the same thing every day.
Fair. But I thought he also had the gut wound in the saying goodbye to Carl scene too.
Maybe.
But I feel like this is later this day, but I don't know where it happens, and I don't know where this tree is, and I don't know why there's stained glass windows tied to it. Perhaps we'll find out.
I think that's the point of it.
And the season 9 premiere. Mm-hmm. And perhaps we'll be there to watch it.
This is Judith's vision of the future.
Yeah. She just really likes stained glass.
Now, she's taking Carl's message one step farther. Like, yeah, we don't have to listen to anything the parents say, but we also need to leave them to die under trees.
Yeah. That's her policy. She is paralyzed Rick from the waist down with a vicious knife to his spinal column.
Yep.
And he's just sitting there against a tree waiting to die.
Yeah.
Good thing his mercy overcame his wrath, though. Okay. That's the episode, Jim.
That's it? Okay.
That's the episode.
Good.
So we, as we said in our preview podcast, are doing a new policy where we essentially are going to do an email of the week.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how much time it cuts out of the process.
Just finding an email that you want to read and then selecting it and reading it. Yeah. No, I mean, our goal for this season is shorter podcasts, hopefully less redundant whining and bitching, a little bit funnier, and just streamlined because, make no mistakes and give us as many one-star reviews on iTunes as well. I no longer enjoy the experience of watching The Walking Dead.
No,
I still
tedious.
enjoy the experience of podcasting about it, but like doing a 2.5-hour podcast on it seems a bit much. Mm-hmm. So if you'd like to run the email gauntlet to get your email read, you can do so at watchingdead@baldmove.com. Jim, what's our highlight? What's our email the week?
All right, I pulled this one because I thought that it
you pulled it like so many guts through a belly button.
I did. I found that tiny hole in the mailbag, and I just pulled until this email came streaming out.
Seems as good a method as any.
Because it sums up a lot of the problems that I had with this episode overall.
Could we print out every email we get, put them in Ziploc bags, get a whole pig carcass, shove them in there, and then we just reach in there and grab one out every week?
I think that's an episode of Mythbusters. Pretty sure.
It's a human analog.
Yeah.
All right, email of the week. I'm excited.
Cindy M. writes in, and
Hi,
she
Cindy.
says, I don't know if this part is something I agree with, but she starts off with the worst episode I have ever seen. I've seen worse. There were trash people in a few last season.
But it is interesting watching a show make an unforced error like killing off Carl. So, a big argument for structurally and just kind of a meta, maybe the worst ever.
Yeah, structurally it was very, very bad. So she goes on, there were a couple of good lines between Carl and Michonne. The rest was garbage. I couldn't even get into being sad for Carl because the scene would cut away to Morgan going psycho. I'm also tired of the group acting like Morgan is wrong for killing now. They begged this man for seasons to get rid of his all life is precious mantra. He finally does, and they act like he's going too far. The writers are idiots.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of The Walking Dead. You swing from one extreme to the other with these characters, never, ever, ever finding a balance and repeating your themes over and over.
No, I think a defender of the show would say the cutting between Carl and Morgan was precisely the point, because they're trying to show a connection between these characters, and Carl is dying with this philosophy of peace, where Morgan is living with this philosophy of death. And my response is, I've seen this 15 times already, and you're fucking up saying goodbye to one of the most... I'll put it this way. We got 2 fucking characters in our logo that are still in color. Because we got
to remove one of them. Yeah.
And now there's only going to be one.
Yeah.
It's Rick Grimes and Carl. And Carl's now getting the black and white treatment. That should be a moment. And that moment does not need to be interspersed with scenes of shit that we've already seen this other character go through 3 times.
Absolutely.
At a minimum.
Absolutely.
So I understand what a better show and better director would be trying to do here, and it might be effective, but you cannot act like this is in a goddamn vacuum.
No, honestly, if I were... Here's what Guy Ferrari would do, I think, in this situation. Guy Ferrari would have taken a look at where all the characters were going back in season 6.
Right.
And Guy Ferrari would have said, what is the most interesting thing to do for Rick and Carl's relationship here?
Right.
And I think it's to put Michonne somewhere in the middle of it. Because Michonne has been important to both of them for varying
what if
reasons.
Rick is attacking Carl for being stupid and allowing himself to die because he's helping a stranger?
Yeah.
And Carl's trying to push this peace shit, and Michonne's in the middle trying to be like, your son's dying, and you're trying to say goodbye
Right.
to your dad. Can we... And that would have been...
Well, I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm going to say Morgan shouldn't have been the focus of this other half of this episode. It should have been Michonne. What if Michonne is out there doing the things? Michonne has gone down a path that Morgan took, right?
Right.
And Michonne is now the one that Carl is talking about as being too far gone or doing things wrong, not the way he sees them. Then it becomes interesting for Rick going forward, because Rick is going to have this tension against where Michonne is. Rick and Morgan being set up for attention isn't interesting. And it's been done so many times already.
And then let me tell you, I was actually kind of wary of this episode because I thought it might jerk some tears out of me. Because I remember Scott Gimple back in the days where we hated Lori Grimes. We hated her so much that we announced that we were going to have a Fiesta podcast celebration on if she ever dies.
Yes.
And then Scott Gimple wrote an episode that had such a powerful moment between Lori and Carl that we actually felt bad for the resulting Fiesta cast.
Yeah, we did it, but we felt bad about it.
I mean, in retrospect, I don't feel that bad. It was a pretty funny concept. Lori was a terrible character.
Yeah.
But even with all that working against it, getting me to feel genuine emotion between Rick and Carl and Michonne should have been a fucking layup. And it worked a little bit. But not nearly as well, because they just fucked it up with this intercut to Morgan for some kind of weird style premium drama cred that they don't even have.
No, they don't. And there are ways to do this, but it's to give the scenes room to breathe. And I mean, here's the thing about an episode of television.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be self-contained in its theme, I think. When you go for something, you want all of the plot lines of that story to relate to each other. And you don't need, and in that regard, you don't need to intercut them to get that to work. You need to do to just make sure that the themes are there, and then you can position the individual scenes kind of in a separate location. You can divide them a little bit more so that you can feel the impact of those scenes while you're in them, as opposed to cutting so quickly back and forth between the two to try and make some thematic point. Let it stand on its own.
I mean, the most powerful scene in my mind was Rick and Michonne on the porch of the church, bracing for hearing a gunshot they know is going to come.
Yeah.
And then them losing their shit. And to me, a much better episode just ends there. Fades to black on that.
Yeah.
But this is not a much better episode.
Imagine if they had showed them waiting on the porch and then cut back over to Morgan and then cut back again to show the gunshot and then cut away again.
Right. Yeah, I mean...
That's essentially what they did all episode, except in that scene, they did give it a moment to breathe, and it worked.
Right.
But
we could go on and on about the same things and find ever creative ways to describe the failures of the show. Like I said, it's curious because I feel like, especially on our forums, people are a lot more positive about the episode than I would have supposed. But then it's so weird because I went to r/The Walking Dead and it was in full kind of meltdown hate mode. They have like an official "fuck you, Scott Gimple" mega thread stickied.
Oh wow!
So people can vent their displeasure at Scott Gimple and what he's done to the character of Carl and to the show's future. And it seems especially mean-spirited when he's essentially leaving the show to make it's a Mazzara killing Andrea all over again. Mm-hmm. I don't get it, and I guess it'll be interesting to see how the fan reacts. Like, will the episode or will the ratings next week take a tumble? Will this be the beginning of like slightly better storytelling that puts The Walking Dead on a stable path that they can find some future? I read an article where they're trying to negotiate with Laura Cohen to come back for season 9 for Maggie.
Signed on for a pilot of a different show, I guess.
Which is bad.
The lead
bad news because she is not under contract. I understand.
Not yet. No.
So she can just fucking leave, and they're building her as the like. Wouldn't this be a wild season 8? If almost all of the leadership leaves, mm-hmm. like if Daryl doesn't come back and Rick doesn't come back and Michonne doesn't, or Maggie doesn't come back, and obviously Carl's not coming back. Morgan is going to a different show, we won't have Morgan to kick around anymore. Poor Melissa is the one of the last of the Darabont. Especially after Andrew Lincoln goes, Darabont loyalists, is she gonna be coming back? I don't know.
I don't know what the show looks like in half a season.
AMC doesn't know what the show looks like in half a season. That's the point. That's the truly scary thing. So are we gonna? Do we have? Do we have a spoiler section anymore where we talk about the comics and stuff? Or
I don't think so.
To me, the spoiler section is beyond useless because this show is just not going to be the comics. They're not telling the same story the comics are telling. They're going to remix elements of it, sure. Mm-hmm. But this is a statement that the comic book continuity that's been built over 160, 170 episodes or whatever they're up to now is gone.
Yeah. You simply can't do the same things with Henry if that's who they're going to try and replace Carl with that you can with Carl.
Right.
He doesn't have a father in this place, Right. You're going to do it with Carl or Henry and Ezekiel?
Right.
I mean, you could try it. It's just not going to feel the same.
Like I said, you can get me interested in a surrogate father figure with a surrogate son trying to teach him the way in the zombie apocalypse. However, I find Ezekiel a hard dude to kind of get in his headspace. And also you would have to have really good writers to do that. And I don't think this show has that. So
no, they don't. And if you're going to shit on Chandler Riggs acting, then I think you can equally shit on whoever plays Henry.
Oh, watch if you want something funny, watch Henry when he's in a scene with other people and he's got no line. He's just kind of looking around. He's just short of putting his hands in his pockets and kicking the ground. No one has given him any direction for what he should be doing or what it's like. It's the poor kid is just cut adrift.
Yeah.
So I don't have faith in the direction. I have faith in the writing to make that story as powerful as Carl and Rick's already fucking was. Yep. Even after all of the bullshit from that's gone down over the years. So. Good job, Chandler Riggs. You wrung some emotion out of me. You got really fucked over by the people running the show. I hope you go on to bigger and better things, study hard in college, and maybe you can come back and surprise us with something in the future. But you got done dirty, kid. And that's no lie. And so have we been done dirty, the fans of The Walking Dead. That's it. We'll be back next week. Actually, I will be back next week. I've got 2 guest hosts lined up. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be familiar with them. I'm not sure which one's going to be first. I haven't worked that out yet. So we will have.
Here's the problem. You might only need one of them.
Oh. Well, I don't think
I'm going to be back.
I don't
for
think
the
either
following
one
week.
would be like, oh man, if we
Yeah.
turned out, or if you just want to like have another day to relax after you come back jet
And not
lagged as
have to
fuck
deal with
from
The
being
Walking Dead.
halfway